After her owner died, this old dog was left at a shelter, but then, a mysterious man showed up on a motorcycle. At the sweet old age of 18, Julep the dog found herself in quite the unexpected predicament. Locked in a cage at an animal shelter, she didn't understand why she was there. Not only had she been the perfect companion to her owner for 18 years, but after the death of her owner, it seemed like her chances of ever finding a new home seemed slim to none. That is, until a man on a motorbike turned up at the shelter. Our story begins in February 2017, where poor Julep found herself alone in a cold animal shelter. A beautiful senior girl, she had been dropped off under the most grim of circumstances. You won't believe what this poor girl has been through. After Julep's owner unexpectedly passed away, she didn't have anywhere to go. Not wanted by her owner's family, they decided the best thing to do was drop her off at an animal shelter. We feel so bad for poor little Julep. Julep was taken to the Humane Rescue Alliance in Washington, D.C. in commission for over 100 years. The shelter had helped thousands of animals find new homes. However, they'd never had a case like Julep, who was the oldest dog they've ever had at the shelter. The shelter's communications officer, David M. Smith, had this to say to people: "Julep is a sweet girl, who, given her age, is doing pretty well here at our adoption facility. We're keeping her spirits up, and she's getting lots of attention from our staff. But a dog at this age truly needs to be at home where she can get all of the attention." Although Julep was in her prime, she still was active and loved to live life to the fullest. According to the rescue group, she simply needed a new start and a couch to sleep on. Would anyone come to Julep's aid? When the rescue posted Julep's story to social media, it touched the hearts of thousands. As people shared her story, hundreds of people shared her plight with the hopes of finding her a new home. Unfortunately, the staff at the shelter didn't hold out much hope for Julep to be adopted. According to the shelter's director, despite how kind Julep was, most people weren't looking for senior dogs. It usually took them quite a while to be adopted. Unknown to Julep, her shot at a new life was possibly close. Washington, D.C. native, Wayne Lurk was currently grieving as well. His sweet pit bull Jasmine had died recently, and after 11 years, the void it left in his heart was too much to bear. According to Lurk, he stated, "I had Jasmine for about 10.5 years. She was just such an amazing dog. A 60-pound pit bull that thought she was a lapdog. She was probably the hardest dog for me to lose." Not really searching for a new dog quite so soon, Lurk stumbled upon a social media posting about Julep. Touched by her plight, he decided to go visit the shelter the next day to meet her. Lurk wasn't sure he was ready to replace Jasmine just yet, so instead of taking his car, he drove his motorbike to the shelter so he would have time to think. He didn't want to make any quick decisions. However, the moment he met Julep, all rational thought went out the window. He knew she was the dog for him. Not one to ask many questions, Lurk immediately went home to get his car. Julep's life was finally about to turn around, and even better, she only had to spend a month at the shelter. Her happy ending was in sight. According to John Tolley, one of the spokesmen for Humane Rescue Alliance, there wasn't a single dry eye in the room on the day Julep went to her new home. We see a lot of happy endings and try not to get too emotional. But the combination of her age and Wayne's obvious adoration for his new old lady left us in tears. After arriving at her new home, Julep received a name change. Lurk decided to name her Tootie after his grandmother. It didn't take long for Julep to get used to her new name, and soon she felt comfortable in her new home as well. According to Lurk, meeting Julep helped him overcome the death of Jasmine. Believing the right dog comes at the right time, he knew that Tootie was the one the minute he saw her on Facebook. Despite Tootie's age, Lurk plans to make every single day count for his new partner in crime. "I know she's not going to be around for very long, but that's okay. She deserves to live out the rest of her life in a loving home with somebody who's going to take care of her and pamper her and make sure that she enjoys the last bit of life she has." Even though Tootie has found her happy ending, there are still many other senior dogs waiting to find homes. Despite being out of the puppy stage, that doesn't mean they aren't in need of a loving home. Most senior dogs are quiet and less work due to already being housebroken. Thankfully, we know Tootie is going to live out her golden years surrounded by love and all the treats she can eat. However, for the other senior dogs currently in shelters, a happy ending is not a guarantee. Don't they deserve a couch to sleep on and never-ending treats too?